Sherry. I am the Business Over Coffee Nashville Regional Director, and I'm so proud to be home today at the Business Over Coffee International Headquarters in Memphis, Tennessee. So welcome me back, everyone. I missed you. You missed me? Yes, indeed. So I'm just going to have a little fun today on an episode of Business Over Coffee International Share TV. And I'm so very proud and humbled to be the guest host on today. And I brought along some friends. Miss Elizabeth Motes, who is the mother of our founder, Miss Sherry Henley, our CEO and founder, Miss Sherry Henley. I have her mother with me today. She is a noted author. She has about 11, count them, 11 books that are out right about now or getting ready to come out, and we're going to discuss those. But before we do, we want to welcome the virtual audience. And we've got some hashtags that we want to give you really quick. First, which is at BOC Coffee, at BOC, sorry if I can get that out, at BO Coffee. There we go.
There you
at
go.
BO Coffee. And then we have hashtag BOCI, and then we have hashtag networking, and then we have hashtag publishing, and hashtag authors. Okay? Did I get all of that out right? Yeah?
You did. Good job.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start the interview with Mrs. Motes. Mrs. Motes, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here with us. And I'm so overwhelmed by the number of books, first and foremost. You are truly a noted author, and I just have a few of the books with me here, and we're going to talk about that. But I just want to learn a little bit about you first, you as the person, and what led you to write the books that you wrote.
Actually, I started writing in 3rd grade.
Okay.
Just short stories.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was my pastor.
Oh, really?
And so I was raised in a minister's home. And from that, it just grew into poetry and things like that, basically for family.
Sure.
And in I'm not sure exactly when, in the 1900s, my kids said to me, "Mom, you got so many stories in there, why don't you write a book?"
Yes.
And so my first book was It Happened on the Way to Heaven.
Oh, wow.
And it was just stories about pastoring, evangelist,
Sure.
raising kids, funny things, sad things, and I didn't intend to write another one.
Yes.
But from that, it went on, and I had a really good sales with that, and so I just went on to I had 3 more that I wrote that were nonfiction, and then I went into fiction. And the fiction actually is focused toward young people, and it's about choices. My books are really about choices.
Good deal. And you know, the young people need a little help in that area
Yes,
as it
ma'am.
pertains to choices.
Yes, ma'am.
And the thing of it is that I got a chance before we started the interview to kind of go through, and we discussed a few of them. There were some that I really, really want to highlight.
Sure.
But I want to kind of just go through and show the books as we talk about them. And this is Mackenzie, A Southern Romance. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, especially Southern. You know,
All right.
Southerners want to know a little bit about romance here. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. This is the 3rd in the Heartland Heritage series, and it's actually totally fiction.
Okay.
It was really centered around my dream to be a nurse. The character in it is a nurse, but she ends up marrying an evangelist, which is what I am, evangelist wife.
So there's some truth behind
There
that.
is some, yes.
Okay.
And it's really it's got a little bit of suspense in it too, and she falls in love with a doctor, kind of, sort of, and then this evangelist from her past comes around, and so of course fiction has to turn out okay.
Yes, yes, most definitely. So a must read, everyone, a must read. And again, this is Mackenzie, A Southern Romance. So we're going to kind of keep it going because we're in a time factor here. The next one we have is 4 Girls from Cedar Creek. Tell us about that.
This is actually my latest. I'm working on the 11th one, but this is the 10th one.
Okay.
These girls were actually 4 girls that were born the same week into the same church. 4 different families, but basically the same lifestyle, same pastor, same youth camps. But when they grew up and got into college, they made 4 different decisions. Some of them were not so well, because decisions have consequences.
Oh, yes, they do.
And that's really basically what it all boils down to, is just teaching young people, hey, it's just not a pretty face, but this is you've got to be somebody with values that you want to get involved with.
Exactly, because we did speak offline about speaking directly to the young people and the choices and the decisions that they make. So this is one of...
Yes, and actually those girls on the front are real girls.
Okay, really?
They're from the Bible College in St. Louis, and they read the manuscript and they said, I want to do that. I want to be that character.
Wonderful. So this is great. So I must read again. Okay, now also we have Searching for Baby Noah. Searching for Baby Noah, okay? Tell us about
That is really one of my best sellers there. It's about a young lady that left the security of her home and her church and got into a group, sort of a bad group.
Oh, no.
And she became pregnant and she left her baby on a doorstep. She felt like that was better than abortion.
Yes.
And so the baby goes into foster care and it kind of goes around and around and around, but after 11 years she finds him.
Good deal. Oh, a great ending there.
Yes, well, it's fiction. It
Oh,
has to be a great ending.
exactly, there you go. I keep forgetting, you know? So, but definitely Searching for Baby Noah, everyone. Don't forget that. And last but not least for today, anyway, we have Shattered Dreams, Recovery and Restoration from Brokenness. And I think we all can kind of relate to that.
Yes,
The recovery.
yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
This was a young lady, a pastor's daughter, and
Okay.
she married a young man in the church that she thought was going to be a very good companion. But he actually led her down a very sad path,
Oh, no.
domestic violence.
Oh, God, no.
And she lived with him. She tried to work her marriage out, but then
Mhm.
she finally just had to leave. She had no
Sure.
choice. He was going to kill her.
Oh, no.
And so she gets into, seems like this follows a pattern a lot of
Mhm.
times of domestic violence. They go from that
Yes.
partner to the next one. It seems
Exactly.
to follow.
Vicious cycle.
And yes, and
Mhm.
this next person got her into drugs and alcohol.
Mhm.
And so she goes into rehab and she comes back around to her pastor, her
Mhm.
dad. And so it's really, I guess you would say, a modern day prodigal daughter.
Right.
And but this book I wrote in 3 months, which usually takes me a year to write.
Exactly.
But I would write and cry and write and cry because it was
Exactly.
very emotional, and I put a lot
Yes.
of the emotions of the parents and siblings.
Oh, wow. And that's the thing, because this one touched me. It really touched
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
Because of the fact that in this day and time, you're hearing, it's like an epidemic
Yes,
for domestic violence.
exactly.
And women, can kind of, not so much everyone can relate to that,
That's
but
right.
you've been mistreated on some type of
Right,
level.
or you've
It
heard
may not have
about it.
been to that level
Yes.
where you were battered and bruised and things of
Exactly.
that nature, but you can relate. I think
Yes.
that's we are emotional creatures, and
Sure.
I think that's one of the reasons why.
Yes,
And that's
ma'am.
probably another reason why it only took you 3 months, because the others, you
Yes.
could so relate to this.
Yes, mhm.
So, but, and you said that, before we came on, that there's a lot of interest in this particular
That
book.
one and Baby Noah, Searching for Baby Noah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Wonderful. So again, listening audience, and I say listening audience, but viewing audience, Shattered Dreams, Recovery and Restoration from Brokenness. You definitely want to get this one as well. So, in closing, Mrs. Motes,
Yes.
give us your contact information. How can we contact you as far as getting the books or guest speaking? Do you do motivational speaking?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Actually, the link that you can buy the books at if you need to order
Sure.
is pentecostalpublishing.com.
Okay.
And my phone number is 901-481-0524.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I am Elizabeth Johnson Motes. You can
Okay.
get me that way.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, we certainly appreciate you being here on today.
Yes.
And, we adore the books. The titles alone, I just can't wait to read the
Thank
books
you.
themselves.
Thanks.
So, continued success.
Thanks.
We greatly appreciate it. And again, everyone, this has been Elizabeth Motes, and we thank her for being on the show today. And we are bringing everyone together.
We have some virtual activities. For the virtual audience, we have out there the Casual Mom, and she says, can't wait to see what's going on. I am an author and publisher. So we have some people out there watching. We also
Wonderful.
had another author that commented on Twitter. So everybody welcome our virtual audience. And also, when you go to pentecostalpublishing.com for Elizabeth Motes, M-O-T-E-S, make sure you search the name, Elizabeth Motes, to find the books.
Good deal. All righty then. Well, again, thank you, everyone, and that's it for us for the segment.